Hey guys, it's your mate Aussie. It's Aussie Vlogs, it's OTR Vlogs, or whatever the fuck I call this. Anyway, catching up this past week. Labelak's back. Well, GT World Series has been and run for the round one, and that has brought out some questions. First off, let's start with Labelak is back! My mate! The one and only Labelak. If you don't know, Labelak is a follower of mine, a subscriber of mine from a few years ago now. He's an amazing guy. He's an inspiration to me. He doesn't let his disability beat him. He controls the disability. He's got some motor skill problems. I can't remember exactly what the condition is, but he modifies his wheel and he races Gt7 and stuff like that. And he decided to give Gt7 a break a while ago, and then out of the blue last week, I got a message from him on PSN, and it was like, yeah, that Labelak has messaged me. He's back, baby, and he's back. And it's just welcome back, Labelak. So there you go. To start off my vlog, so it makes me really happy. Now, the main part of this vlog. My problem with what happened, what I've taken out of this past weekend. Apparently we got 2 new cars coming. They announced one new Chinese electric car over the weekend. They made a big thing about a new manufacturer in the game, blah, 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 blah. I think, yeah, whoop-de-fucking do. It's another electric car that's boring as shit to drive, especially in these games. But my main concern is that the last couple of years they've used the GT World Series to announce a new track coming to Gran Turismo 7. Last year it was this, whatever you call that track, that little short one with what we thought was going to be racing for a tunnel, but no, they just used the tunnel as the pit box. I was disappointed with that. I wanted to race through the tunnel. That's the way it used to be. But they used the GT World Series to announce that. And the year before, I think they announced St. Louis, one of the other, I think it was round 2 of the GT World Series. But this year, nothing. Silence. No word whatsoever on a new track at all. Nothing. There's been, of course, a very long-rumoured Montreal. Still nothing on that. I actually thought we were going to, when they had one of the GT World Series races were held at the Montreal, that they would announce it there, but no. And then this year, nothing. No mention of any track whatsoever. Or any real changes to Gran Turismo or this. Now, you would think if they're going to take the time to make an announcement of a new car coming to the game and how this is great for them, blah, 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 that they're still thinking that there's still some future in Gran Turismo 7. But is there really any future in Gran Turismo 7? Especially track-wise, they're still overusing tracks and not using other ones like St. Croix. I keep bringing up all the fucking time. And they've used some of the Tokyo tracks for some daily race Bs lately. But overall, is there much of a future left in Gran Turismo 7? Or have they already moved their direction and concentration on working on Gran Turismo 8? So, but I've just got a feeling we're not going to see any new tracks in Gran Turismo, because if they were going to bring a new track anytime meaningful this year, they would have announced it on the weekend at the GT World Series. I believe the next 2 rounds aren't until September and October or November, something like that. So not till later in the year. And if they could put some of their resources into more tracks, and I think we're all over electric cars and all these normal road cars. We want to see some more race cars. Where's some new GT3 cars? Where's some new GT4 cars? Yeah. Why aren't they fixing little quality of life things in Gran Turismo 7 that didn't in Gran Turismo Sport? Like, for instance, with Sport, if you didn't have the right tyre selected, you would select the right tyre, and then next time you go and do that race, that tyre was already selected for the car. But no, with GT7, ever since GT7 came out, if you don't have the right tyre and you go and do the race, you select the right tyre so you can go and do the race, you do that, and you go back to do the race again, no, you've still got the wrong tyre selected. It doesn't save your settings, which sucks even more when you've got settings for races and stuff like that, and you have to, before each race, you have to go in and put your settings in because you can't save your settings for the races, which I think's just not on. I think that puts me off bothering doing the settings. I don't want to have to try and pull all that shit in before every fucking daily race. So little things like that make a difference. Okay, another little quality of life thing I would like to see them do is, I've been doing a lot more racing in VR lately, is been able to see where your opponents are, even if it's on that HUD that you can change, at least have a bit there where you can see your gaps to the cars around you and behind you, stuff like that. And I would like to be able to see that. Where ends up when you're doing those longer distance races when you're in VR. Plus, little bit things like if you're going to go out and do the bit of warm up before you actually go and do a daily race, and it comes up with that line, and it's right at your eye level, so you can't see where you're going, and it says, "Okay, practice over, race beginning soon," or something like that. And it's just right. It's right at eye level. Why can't it be lower or higher so you can still see where you're going? Because that's what I've shown in the past. If you hit something differently, especially with these force feedback wheels, it can jolt the wheel, especially when you're in VR. And you block where you're looking, that could be potentially dangerous, that someone could get hurt. I know the chances are very minor, but if there's a chance, how about just getting rid of that bloody thing, moving it up or down, or making it a lot more see-through, so you can still see where you're going. Whenever that happens, I have to kind of almost back off and get ready, because it's just like when you're doing lobbies and the race starts and the whole screen just goes black, but the car's still driving. Just little bit things like that could be fixed. But to me, the setups, saving setups for the daily races and your tyres and stuff like that, it's a simple little fix they could do. Because if you go back to the garage, you can save this thing there. If you do any other races in lobbies or anything like that, it saves your settings, it saves your tyres, what you want. It's only in the daily races where they do the stupidity of you have to change. But yeah, Gran Turismo 7, I love the game. Look, I love it. It's still my favourite racing game. It's just the easiest one to pick up and drive. But it is a dying thing. There's less and less people using it now, and I think lack of new race cars, lack of new tracks. To me, if they want to bring more players back, they need to do a Gran Turismo 7 upgrade to the sport, a new updated sports mode with. I would love to see a daily race D and some more racing options be brought in. Do something about the penalty system, more race cars. So yeah, what would you like to see Polly do? Do you want to see them do a Gran Turismo Sport 2? Do you want to see them just work on Gran Turismo 8, which won't be out for a couple of years and most likely for the PlayStation 6, if there is a PlayStation 6? And what would you like to see? Or would you like to see them do a new kind of like a Spec B version of Gran Turismo 7, but only for PlayStation 5 owners, and finally drop the PS4 version, which has held back this game from the start anyway? I'm Ian. That's some food for thought. Catch us in the next one.